All right, buckle up, because this one's going to sting. Everyone clutching their pearls and crying about how poor Chris Rock was assaulted on live TV needs to sit down and shut up for 5 minutes. Let's get real here. Chris Rock deserved that slap. Hell, he deserved two. Will Smith didn't lose his temper. He delivered long overdue reality therapy to a man who spent his whole career confusing cruelty for comedy. These so-called comedians think they're untouchable. They think they can say whatever they want, insult whoever they want, and then shrug it off with that smug little line, "Hey man, I'm just telling jokes." Oh please. That's not wit. That's cowardice wrapped in a punchline. The second someone calls them out, they start hiding behind free speech and comedy shouldn't have limits. What a convenient shield for people whose entire act depends on punching down and humiliating others while pretending it's just humor. Let's not pretend Chris Rock didn't know what he was doing. He looked right at Jada Pinkett Smith, a woman who's been open about her struggle with alopecia, and decided that would be great material for a cheap one-liner. That's not edgy. That's not brave. That's not pushing boundaries. That's lazy. It's cruelty wearing a laugh track. He made fun of a medical condition on live television in front of millions of people. You know what that's called in any other setting? Bullying. But because it's on a stage and he's got a microphone, we're supposed to clap like trained seals and call it art. The arrogance of these comedians is astonishing. They've convinced themselves they're social commentators, philosophers, truth-tellers, as if mocking people is some sacred public service. "I'm holding up a mirror to society," they say. Yeah, sure you are. Except the mirror always seems to point downward, doesn't it? Always toward the vulnerable, the embarrassed, the easy targets. Chris Rock didn't speak truth to power that night. He mocked a woman's illness to get a cheap laugh from a room full of millionaires. And when Will Smith, a man who's endured years of public ridicule, personal attacks, and memes about his marriage, finally stood up and said, "No, not tonight," suddenly everyone loses their minds. Violence is never the answer. Oh, shut up. These same people consume violent movies, violent music, violent games, but the second someone gets slapped for being a disrespectful clown, suddenly they're all pacifists. Spare me the fake moral outrage. You don't get to provoke people endlessly and then act shocked when one of them decides to remind you there are still consequences in the real world. Chris Rock and comedians like him have been living in a bubble for decades. A world where cruelty is currency, where fame equals immunity, and where decency is for suckers. They think words don't have weight, that they can tear people down on camera, ruin reputations, humiliate families, and it's all just jokes. But the joke stops being funny when you realize the person you're mocking actually has to live with the pain you just turned into a punchline.